Time to jam, time to throw down a great party record. Hit line was all over this record back in the fall of 1993. Used to jam out to it, listening to it on Hitline. DJ, Jazzy, Jam, boom, shake the room, man. It's shut you down, shut you down to the ground. Samples one of my favorite records by the Ohio Players, Funky Worm, the brilliant Funky Worm, which came out back in 1973. Sampled 20 years later in this record by DJ Jazzy Jeff. He's been underrated. This guy was a very aggressive rapper. I think he didn't endear himself to a lot of the hip hop crowd because he didn't use profanity. And that's what I liked about him. He didn't use profanity in his video like a lot of other rappers do, and even some pop stars do sometimes now. I thought that was really cool looking back on it. But he still had that edge though. You could hear it in this record. DJ Jazzy Jeff. I'm talking about Will Smith. Actually, it, Jeff Town was DJ Jazzy Jeff, and then you got Will Smith. These two guys met in 1985. Jeff Town, he was performing. Was it Towns? I believe it was Town. I want to make sure I got that name right. Jeff Towns. My bad. Jeff Towns. Jeff Towns and Will Smith lived close together. This was back in the mid 80s. Jeff Towns was performing at a house party. He was throwing down, but he had a problem. His hype man did not show up. His backup rapper, the backup rappers who had issued these exclamations and interject these little one or two word chants or whatever, well, he didn't show up. Will Smith was at the party. He said, let me fill in, man. I can rap. I can throw down. I can get down on this. It's going down, man. I can make it. And, well, the chemistry between these two guys clicked. Legend has it that when Jeff Towns, when his hype man showed up, he was like, man, I found your replacement. First album by DJ Jazzy Jeff. First album was called, I wrote it down here, Rock the House, y'all, Rock the House. Turn this mother out, that's right, Rock the House. They toured with Public Enemy. They toured with Run DMC. Russell Simmons of Jive Records took notice. He signed them to a record contract. First album off of his record label. And I forgot to write it down. I did write it down. It was called Here's the DJ. Bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, God, I forgot the name of the album. Oh, well, let's forget it. First big hit, though, was Parents Just Don't Understand. And then there was Nightmare on My Street, which came out late 88, early 89, fall of 88, 1988. This is when they blew up. DJ Jazzy Jeff. The thing about these two guys, or about this act, Will Smith, they were just so comical. They were funny. There was this, and the thing about Will Smith, I guess one thing that impressed me so much about him was his confidence level. He delivered his rap, his lyrics, his rhymes with such aplomb. Like, hey, I'm badass and I know it. They released another album, their second album, off the Jive record label, and and In This Corner. That was their second album. Didn't do as well though, and came out with a tune called "I Can Beat Mike Tyson." Didn't do as well though. The album went gold. Now I didn't know this. I had to write this down. Get it, just kind of memorized. D. Will Smith had some financial problems early on. He squandered close to $3 million. $3 million. Did not pay any taxes on that $3 million. The IRS, they came calling. They laid the smack down. He was hauled in, convicted, or whatever of income tax evasion. He had to pay it all back. And get this, I'm sure you remember the TV show. God, it was a great TV show. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The first 3 seasons, Will Smith's paycheck, 25% of his paycheck. First 3 seasons of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 25% of his paycheck garnished, taken by the IRS. Internal Revenue Service. Boy, they made him pay, but get this, 1991 came the album. And bear with me because I just slapped things all over the place. I forgot the name of the album. It was Home Something. Well, anyway, his second or third really big hit, Summertime, summer of 1991. That was a beautiful video. The picnic, the good time vibes. This it samples Summer Madness by Kool and the Gang, but the song it had that vibe of "It's a Beautiful Morning" or "Groovin' by the Rascals" had that vibe to it, and it was just a great video. And he was still an aggressive rapper, but it was just in such a sort of a family friendly, a commercial environment. And it was a big record. And dadgummit, I forgot the name of the album. I wrote it down. My goodness. The other hit record off of that, though, was Ring My Bell off his second album with Jive Records. No, third album with Jive Records. Well, anyway, we come to Code Red, and this would be the last album they did together, Jeff Towns and Will Smith. And they got a little bit more aggressive with Boom, Shake the Room. Boom, Boom, Shake the Room. Boy, I tell you what, it was a jam. Yes. Went to number 13 here in the States. But overseas, it went to number one in Ireland. Spain went to number one in England. As a matter of fact, their first album was recorded in England. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Well, they're at number 14 on my fancy playlist, October 17th, 1993. Still looking for the name of that second album they did. It was Home Something. Home Base. Home Base. Got it. I had to get that name of that second album down, or it might have been the third album off the Jive record label. That's where Summertime came from. Home Base. The album Home Base. All right, getting off the tangent, getting off subject again. DJ Jazzy Jeff, a Boom Shake the Room at number 14. Fancy playlist, October 17th, 1993.